Hello everybody, happy International Tourist Guide Day. We are here at Nobel Brothers Batumi Technological Museum and I am going to tell you a brief history of this museum. During Nobel's time, around 19th century, here were too many famous people who were interested in Batumi and they were producing many things here in Batumi. And now about Nobels, what did they want here, right? Why did they appear here? They had a business in St. Petersburg, they were producing guns, but mostly they were doing it for military, and during that time it was so expensive for them because they were importing equipment for their guns from Europe, and that's why Robert Nobel decided to travel around Caucasia and he visited Baku. He was looking for nuts for their guns and he found out about oil industry. He was thinking that oil was the future and he put his money with his brother in this industry. Here we can see Robert Nobel himself. This is the first Zoroaster tanker that was made by Ludwig Nobel's drawings. And this was the first tanker that went from Batumi to Singapore. And here we can see Batumi port where they were working. This was a place where they were working, and here we see Ludwig Nobel. So they dug first pipelines in 1883 and from Baku to Batumi they were transporting oil with those pipelines, and they were taking oil with tankers from the Black Sea all around Europe and Asia. Now about this building. This was their working place. It was around 19th century, and when they left Georgia before Bolshevik, it was around 1914, they left everything here, and after some time here was a kindergarten, and after some time we had also a police station, and in 2007 in May it was opened officially as a museum. On each pipeline they had those kind of steam pumps, and they were transporting oil with those kind of steam pumps. Here we have those kind of machinery, and it was using for cutting metals. It's manual and it's working. And about this, it was opener and a closer for pipelines. So Nobels were not only ones who were interested in oil industry. Also we had Baron Alphonse de Rothschild, who were interested so much in oil industry, but difference between Nobels and Rothschild was that Rothschild was taking kerosene and oil with railway, and Nobels were taking with tankers, and mostly they were taking from the sea. Also Rothschild built those kind of factory in Chakri, and local people were working here in this factory. Rothschild's company was producing those kind of shale logos, and they were taking with those kind of barrels kerosene from railway, and they copied shale logo here. You can see it here. And now about this map. Here we can see all the spots where they were taking oils. Here we are from Batumi all around Eurasia. So here we can see an imitation of Nobel's office, and as you see, those are pictures of their parents, and this one is their younger brother who died during his experiment in his office. And here they had Russian literature. They loved Russian literature and they were speaking so good Russian too. So on that time, on those pictures, we see a railway tunnel which was made during that time, and there was one architect, Shukhov, who did not have equipment for this explosion, and he asked Nobels to help him, and Nobels gave a dynamite to him, and with those dynamite he just exploded this tunnel, and we still have a railway in Batumi, and it's so visible from Botanical Garden. If we go on top of it, we can see everything so clearly. So here we are going to talk about famous people who were living during Nobel's period. And first one was Chinese Lao Jinjo, who came here with his 25 workers, and he planted a tea plantation in a huge way. And here we can see a house where he lived. here we see all newspapers. They were printing in Batumi, but mostly they were in Russian. And we had also a bamboo factory in Chakri. And here we can see an old package of Lao tea. Here we can see first colored photos from this period. It was taken by Russian photographer Sergei Progodin-Gorsky. He had his way of mixing colors and he was getting those kind of light, colorful pictures. Everyone was happy because of Lao tea, and in Paris they liked it so much and they were so delightful that they got our tea. Those are belongings of Lao, Chinese man who visited Batumi, and we can see his shoes and his diary here. Also, this kind of hat. So here were too many foreigners who were interested in Batumi and they had business here. One of them was half Greek and half Turkish person, Biniatoglu, and he was producing tobacco in Batumi and he was so happy to be there. This is a cutting machinery and they were cutting tobacco with those things. So during that time we had 6 printing houses in Batumi, and we can see here printing machine from this period. It was around 19th and at the end of 18th century. During Nobel's time, here were too many famous people, mostly foreigners, and one of them were combat photographer Robert Capa, who were interested in Batumi and who took those kind of pictures from this period. He was describing local people's life. In Batumi we had famous photo studios, and one of that was Egorov studio, and we can see local people how they were going there and were taking those kind of pictures. And those kind of pictures were taken mostly with those cameras. Thompson, who visited Batumi, and we all know that he had a Nobel Prize in literature. He was so happy that he visited Batumi, and he compared Batumi to South America, and also he visited Hazbeki, and he was thinking that that was a place, about Hazbeki, that was a place where he felt so close to God. So, I am Marika Cintsadze, I was guiding you, and we are here at Nobel Brothers Batumi Technological Museum at Les Elysées Street, number 3.